Welcome back to Judith Plains, Montana. I'm BP, and this is the 555 Challenge. We are in June, and we have barley that is ready to harvest, guys. So let's get in here and let's get attached to our header and get over to our barley field and get to work. We also have a bunch of stuff to sell today. We got some running around to do. So head this way. I think we're going to take the wide route on this turn. There's no way with the dual front tires and the header on the back we stand any chance of making this intersection if we have to turn through it. So we're going to go straight on through and see our corn is coming in beautifully from yesterday's planting. Looks like we're going to have a good yield on that. We had some exciting news on the farm this morning. We had our first 3 calves in our dairy barn. I think we had another 12 or 13 sheep and the assorted 20 or 30 chickens, which seems to be pretty much our normal at this point. So the animal livestock husbandry aspect of the farm is coming along really well. I did put about 150,000 liters of silage into the dairy barn and 70 or so thousand liters into the water buffalo pasture, just to sort of finish off what we had and get it done so they were good to go through the end of the year at least. So let's get on to, actually let's see if we can load the course here. Harvesting, we have 50 and 54. 50 it is, that's the one we want. Clear current course. Load course, and let's have you start at the first waypoint. Gonna fold up apparently and drive a little bit and then unfold again. Never understood that for the AI workers, but that's the way it works. Just want to make sure we're putting down a straw swath here, making sure everything is in order. We are putting down a straw swath. Excellent. So he is off and running, and we'll leave him to harvest the barley field. Heading back to the farm, we'll take the shortcut through the little ravine here. I need to come put some water into the greenhouses. I did bring a second load of manure from our dairy barn and put it in the greenhouses last night just to try to boost us up a little bit. So, big news, guys. Our first big production sale is here, and it is all of this, I believe 64,000 liters of Jack Daniel's whiskey. So where is the best place to sell that? Let's check and see. It's at Applebee's, and the price is above the peak price, so we are going to take it and sell it now and make ourselves some money. Looks like also our rice oil is going to be ready to sell this month as well. Go ahead and get out of the barn or out of the shed and head this way. So we'll go down and get our rice oil from the oil mill. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to sell yet either, but we'll get all that done. And then there are a couple items in the sale that I'm excited about. We're going to pick up once we have some money, because as you can see, with our monthly loan payment, which is still, I believe, $35,000 plus the productions, plus the interest, plus all of those things, we are down to $4,500 in the bank. We may have timed our productions just about perfectly to get some income here on a month that we really needed it. So we'll go up to Applebee's where we're going to sell this, and I will bring you guys back in when we are at the selling point. See you in a minute. We are pulling into town, and it's telling me Applebee's is back down behind the shop. So let's see what we can find back there. This is a very heavy, very top-heavy load. Had an incident on the corner after you guys left me that we'll just call it crash counter +1 at this stage. So let's see what we find in the way of a sell point. So let's pull in here. Let's get the straps off. And oh boy, this could be bad, guys. We could have Jack Daniels all over the place. Okay, so we know it's not going to be on the corner. So let's go ahead and throw the straps back on. Is it at the back of the store? Let's see. Doesn't look like it. Throwing the straps back on. Oh boy. Could be on this side. Probably should have turned interactive zone markers on, but I'm not a huge fan of having those on. Okay, we're going to turn that, put the straps back on for the corner. Was it right here in front the whole time? Let's see. It was right here in front the whole time. We did not need to be driving around in circles. $153,855. And guys, look at that. Money burning a hole in our pocket, and we're right next to the shop where we know how to spend it. I'm going to run in and pick up those 2 sale items real quick, and I'll bring you back once we have them and I can share them with you. So I'll see you guys as soon as we're done in the shop. Well, guys, here are 2 new pieces of equipment. We have a Samson manure spreader that I am super excited to be able to stop buying fertilizer, start getting our grass and our clover fields done. And then we have a row planter here. This is actually the Kinsey rebranded case for the farm, but it has just a great working with and will be a great addition to the farm. We're going to go ahead and sell that Valtra that we picked up the other day because that one was on sale for about half the price. So where are we going from here? Well, neither of those things will fit on this trailer. We're going to have to bring the Volvo up to get that stuff done. So let's take a quick look before we pull out here and just see where we are with the time-saving stock check. Rice oil is $21.46 at the Hobson General Store, which is just about $10 more a pallet than the max price, which makes our rice oil worth about $70K if we sell all of it. So let's head down to the oil plant and pick that stuff up. I did want to show you guys, we do have 13,000 liters of bread, and the bakery is, we still have 14,000 liters of flour left over. So we are in good shape on that. And it's 90 flour to 45 bread. So we're going to get about 7,000 more liters of bread, which will give us about 20,000 to sell at the end of the day. And let's see, that's worth almost $2,000. So that'll be worth $40,000 to sell as well. So we're going to head down to the oil plant and pick up our rice oil, take it over to the Hobson, was it convenience store, general store, whatever it said, and get that sold. So I will check in with you guys down at the oil plant when we're on the way to sell our rice oil, and then I'll probably send the Volvo back up here to grab those 2 pieces of equipment and bring them back to the farm. So once again, guys, I'll see you shortly. Back at the oil plant. Let's grab this rice oil and go sell it. So jumping in here, we'll go to the production and the oil plant. Our rice oil we want to set to storing. Yep, there it is, popping on out, looking good. I think we have about 30,000 liters, which equates to 30 pallets as well. So let's see if we can't get this trailer a little closer over and pick up that other one over there. Snap it around. All right, here we are. There's 19. We're a little over halfway there. You know, and I keep saying I'm going to adjust the rear of this for the auto load because the last two pallets just don't get a strap, even though I think there's a strap in there. I think it just doesn't reach for some reason. So we will push those up just a little bit. Let's go ahead and push it up a little bit. There we go. And re-strap, and away we go. Got to be careful not to hit the building here. Don't want to be hitting your own production. That wouldn't be good for business. All right, so 33,000 liters of rice oil. And before I forget, let's jump into the production and put that back to distributing. And while we're down here, I wonder, let's get up to the stop sign. I'll just pull over for 1 sec. We're doing rice flour at the flour mill as well. So, oh, do we not turn rice flour on? Oh, we turned on long grain rice flour, guys. That's on me. Well, let's go ahead and get that cranked over. I don't think it's going to produce too much to begin with, but we'll find some use for rice flour later. I'm still intrigued by the pasta recipe with butter and egg and flour at the bakery. We may have to give that one a try. I did see that we got our first full pallet of eggs. Took only 11 months or whatever, it's been 10 months, but we finally got it. We've got like 300 chickens in there. But they are producing eggs, which is really good news as well. So we could, with a little bit of butter from our dairy, which we will be getting milk from the cows now that they're giving birth, we could do all of that. And I thought okay, there's the sell point. See, I thought the sell point was right back here. $68,687. That was a very good day of selling goods and making money for us. And man, oh man, do we need it. So, let's head back up to the farm. Let's see how the harvesting is going on our barley field. We're going to need to grab all that straw. I got to figure out how to make TMR now that our cows are giving birth. There's not a lot of them. And if you're familiar with our other series, the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge, we have like multiple barns and calf huts and pastures and pens for all of our animals so that we can capture milk and feed the right feed and all this kind of stuff. We're not going to do any of that on this series. It's just going to be a matter of adding straw to our silage to make TMR, which is fine because it'll just end up bolstering the amount of feed we have in total. And as we discussed previously, the corn stalk bales that we get from our cornfield are not useful for any other purpose than animal bedding. So realistically, we can just use those for the bedding. And guys, I did not have my caffeine this morning apparently. Yeah, we set the harvester loose and didn't give him anything to empty into. So that's me just not paying attention to what I'm doing. I was excited to sell the Jack Daniels. And, you know, he's been sitting there looking for something to empty into. So let's head back up to the farm. Let's grab the quad track and get up here with that to get him emptied. And after that, we can grab the Volvo and hook up the big end dump trailer to capture all of that. So I'm just going to dump this truck and trailer right here in the grass to keep things moving because I just was not paying attention to what we were doing this morning. So jump out. Got a worker up there sitting there costing us money, and he can't do anything because he's got a full grain tank. So let's jump into some in-cab since we're on the farm. Pardon me, chickens coming through hot and fast. Okay, here we go. I am so happy we got the quad track. I was debating if the Magnum was going to be enough on our first episode when we bought all of our big tractors and most of our equipment. And I was like, you know, it's 435 horsepower. The quad track, you know, has its purpose, but we have a big tractor. We could save a couple $100,000 and not have to have this huge tractor we can't use very much. But between the plowing and the planting and the grain cart, we definitely are getting our use out of it, and this is just the right tractor for all of those jobs. So let's get him on the field. I think we'll actually just go ahead and empty the harvester manually the first time so he can get back to work. I was not anticipating the harvester sitting there while we were gone, so we've got a little bit of catch up to do in regards to the time he's going to be on the field. And we want to get that done because I'd love to get the straw collected this episode. So let's see if that's going to be a good spot for him. We might actually have to kick out a little bit, guys. I put the long pipe on the harvester, and it looks like it is sticking out quite a bit. Got room for a bigger header if we ever needed one. Alright, so that's going to help keep him moving. We're going to have to figure out what we want to keep for barley, what we want to take down to the mill, and what we want to, so we can turn it into flour and then eventually into bread or even pasta at that point. So, I think last year we took 33,000 liters of barley down to the mill. We might start with 20 or 25,000 liters down to the mill and just start there, because the best price for bread's going to be in January, so we want to have bread production done by then so we're not selling or waiting for another year to sell. I do want to jump in and make sure we have the right field selected. That is the number one problem with the grain cart on horseplay, is it frequently does not switch to the current field when it comes time to empty. So we're going to cut through the sheep pasture here, trying to keep everything moving. We might even just end up over there with the Magnum and the baler and just start baling up behind him as well, just to keep things moving since we're doing all the field work over there today. So let's see. Yeah, I got to take the Valtra seeder to the shed and unload the fertilizer and seed, and then take that down to the shop and get that sold. So we've got about $100,000 in that piece of equipment still invested that we're going to be getting back. So we're going to have well over $200,000 when this is all said and done, which is great. But with our monthly payments being about 50 grand, realistically, we need to keep some of that money so we have a chunk of change to carry us over winter when we don't have a lot of productions to sell and goods to make money on. So we'll have to just keep all of that in mind. Yeah, so now the harvester's moving. He's much happier. We're going to go ahead and put the Volvo right here on the field edge. And get that all the way open. Love the rolling animation on that. One more trip through the ravine. And we'll grab the Magnum for the new baler. We used to use the Versatile, but now with the windrower on it, I think the horsepower capacity is just higher than we have available to us. So disconnect the back mower. Go ahead and grab some in-cab driving for around the farm. I find it so much easier around the farm to drive in-cab because you're not dealing with the camera bouncing off things or clipping. Just a nicer experience, I guess. Yeah, our new Magnum with the quad tires. Excited to put this thing back to work. The AI worker has a full grain tank. Great, we have that taken care of for the first time. Alright, so we're heading back out, down to the field. we will just bale behind the harvester. I think at that point we won't quite catch up to them, but we'll have the bales done. Probably turning in here with the signs wasn't the best plan. Yeah, there's a stop sign on the corn. Not our finest driving, but it got the job done. Let's go ahead and get this thing unfolded. It's nice too. Now I only have to unfold one piece of equipment to get all this going. We might actually go the opposite direction to the harvester as well. So just double checking, we're on 240 centimeter round or square bales. We are. Everything kicks over and turns on just like it's supposed to. And we will do some baling. So I'll probably throw this on a bit of a time lapse. You guys don't have to listen to me ramble on while I'm getting the baling done. But I'll catch up with you guys when we're wrapping up. Well, guys, that'll about do it for this episode. We got the whiskey sold. We got the rice oil sold. We got our barley field harvested and baled. Got a little cleanup to do around the edges, but overall, we're in good shape, so we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.